The Kayfabe Crunch is overseen by Mitosis, the all-in-one company for every aspect of modern living. We're your bank, your grocery your store, business manager, your search engine, your browser history, your lobbyist, your smart refrigerator, your neighbor, your favorite Instagram your influencer, DNA editor, your tax evasion your specialist, pre-op surgeon, your daddy. We are you, all because you chose to let us in.
The Kayfabe Crunch. No news is ever truly good.
Good news! This is your Kayfabe Crunch for Saturday, June 27th, 2020. I'm Quinn, Kick. Bet you didn't think there'd be a Q name or move. We're just that good. Coming up, we have all the latest from the week in wrestling. Plus, we open up the Kayfabe Crunch audio inbox to hear your thoughts. But first, on this day in grappling history, in 1999, Billy Gunn became King of the Ring. Being Mr. Ass at the time, his first act as king was to declare he would put butts in seats and always clap cheeks. And in 2004, WWE presented the Great American Bash, reviving an old WCW branded pay-per-view for the first time since the company's acquisition. Rumor has it this was done to counter-program TNA's upcoming special, Fighting Festival. And finally, 5 years ago today, CM Punk delivered his pipe bomb and was subsequently arrested by the Counter-Terrorism Unit. Thanks for listening to the Kayfabe Crunch. Just to keep you all informed, every single one of our employees, including me, has tested positive for the virus. But we're a podcast, so there's absolutely no danger to you, the listener, as this horrible virus can't be transmitted via sound. Yet. And now, let's get on with the Uniquely-Undertaker news. Top story: Swamp Thing. Braun Strowman spent last night describing his early experiences with one Bray Wyatt. Strowman stated that the sort of fear you feel around Wyatt isn't the bump in the night sort of fear, but instead the sort of fear that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Personally, I'd say those are the same kind of fear. Fears that are rooted in a irrational horror story. I mean, it's not exactly fear of failing as a parent, or the fear of being kidnapped and trafficked to another country. You know, the actual terrifying things. Strowman then told a story about Wyatt being face to face with a snake. He talked about how the snake lashed out and bit Wyatt's face, only for Wyatt to burst into laughter. And he did so because the snake in question was Jake the Snake Roberts. Let's face it, a mustached man in his mid-60s clamping his chompers onto the side of your cheeks? That's actually rather amusing. Strowman asserted it was from this point that he knew Wyatt was the devil himself. That, and he'd left the milk out of the fridge. So, the monster among men started doing the devil's work. And last night he revealed that monster is still inside Strowman today. Looking at the size of his body, you can tell. Let him out. Somebody help him. Strowman laid down a challenge to Wyatt that the pair should return to the swamp and end things at the old Wyatt family compound, and that Wyatt should be left to rot with the Florida Gators. Our investigators are still looking into what the hell this has to do with college football. Now it's time for your fast count, the unexplained ninjas of news.
SmackDown all about celebrating the retirement of The Undertaker. Sources say he'll never lace up his boots again. This week.
FTR defeat SCU in AEW before OT. Rematch TBD for future PPV? For now, FTR to face BAB at FF. FYI, IMO, these acronyms are DOA, but YOLO, SMH.
Sources say the SmackDown hacker hasn't been seen for weeks, as he himself was hacked and is currently dealing with the proper authorities.
Cody holds press conference with less than reputable journalists, who even sounded slightly fabricated. Here at the Kayfabe Crunch, we cannot endorse the idea of inventing news organizations for the purposes of entertainment.
Lucha House Party score big win on SmackDown. Public health experts are thankful for this, as victories for wrestlers wearing masks will promote wearing masks.
Either Keith Lee or Adam Cole to become first double champion in NXT. Public health experts hope Lee will win in order to better promote their new campaign, Mask in His Glory.
Corey Graves sits at the commentary table despite visibly displaying viral symptoms. Public health experts are thankful for this, as people will see Graves' face as a cautionary tale.
Nikki Cross wins #1 contendership despite not bringing her ring gear. WWE now looking into the effectiveness of proper ring attire on match outcomes, meaning the next WrestleMania main event could be Brock Lesnar versus The Fiend in a bra and panties match. Oh, let him in. And that's your fast count.
You've been counted out. Wear your mask, it's not that hard.
Once again, we've opened our audio inbox and asked you, the listener, to leave us a message. Your thoughts and opinions are so important to us, and by saying sentences like that last one, it creates the fabricated illusion that we care. So, we asked you, which match has been your favourite of the pandemic era so far? Without further ado, let's listen to those answering machine messages. Should we have had someone listen to these first? It'll be fine.
For me, nothing has topped the Boneyard match. The dead man on his home turf, so cool. Although, we haven't seen Luke Gallows or Cole Anderson since that night, and I think they both died. I love The Undertaker, but man, I don't think I can condone murder. Unless... No, murder is bad. The Firefly Funhouse match pushed the boundaries of the genre of professional wrestling. From this match alone, we've learned that time travel is possible, that we can collapse the walls of perceived reality, and that John Cena can indeed be seen. I gave this 9 out of 10 in my published journal, and stand by my statement that this seminal bout will inform the sport for decades to come. Also, I like the Muscle Man dance.
Just Bobby Lashley versus R-Truth on Raw. Or any match on TV, really. Nothing exciting for me. No, it's just great to be watching wrestling without having to look at all those wrestling fans. They make me physically sick. Wait, I'm a wrestling fan.
Greatest wrestling match ever. Absolutely blew me tits off, that did. Oh, easy. The corporate ladder match at Money in the Bank. It perfectly displayed the benefits of capitalism and all the glory it can offer us. If you work hard, climb to the top of a company, and avoid being pushed off a roof, you'll be rewarded with untold riches. It even showed us that women are handed everything these days, whereas a hard-working physical specimen such as Otis has to wait his turn. When are men going to get a chance? Why is nobody else asking that,
There's just time for a quick look at the wrestling stock markets. TV at a loss for integers across the spectrum. Although NXT is up on AEW for the first time in a near 30-week gestation period. If you'll follow me across the forest of graphs, we can look to the B-level exchanges. The metal markets are jacked and holding strong. The heat markets are too hot to handle. And the velocity markets are soaring at record speeds. Join us Tuesday when we'll ask, ninjas, are they a threat to modern living? And remember, you can support this podcast by recommending it to a fellow wrestling fan. It's not exactly news, and the jokes can be a tad offbeat at times. But, and I think you'll agree with me here, if you listen to 10-ish episodes in a row, you'll be ground down by the humour and have no choice but to tune in every week. So in that way, we're exactly like Raw. This has been the Kayfabe Crunch, your not quite daily, not quite news, bump for the world of professional wrestling.
The Kayfabe Crunch is overseen by Mitosis, the only company America needs.
Stop recording the ad copy. Stop right now. Stop it.
What? Why?
So, Mitosis, they're under investigation for fraud and embezzlement and war crimes and I think treason and a whole bunch of other stuff. We can't be heard endorsing them.
Okay. Well, what do we put at the end of the episode?
I don't know, just anything but Mitosis. Like, I shouldn't even be saying that name right now.
How about I just tell people to be nice and look after each other?
Well, that's not an ideal anyone would buy into these days, but sure, go ahead.
Be nice and look after each other.
The Kayfabe Crunch.